Here's a question I'd like to ask, just for discussion. There are all kinds of AI writing bots being artificially intelligent writing robots being touted right now. You can tell them to write something, they'll go out on the internet, they'll consolidate ideas from other documents, basically plagiarizing, and apply the rules of language to those things. And in doing that, they'll write a essay or a few paragraphs or whatever you want, an entire blog post possibly, and provide it to you. But there's no original ideas in it because the bots are really not intelligent. They're not capable of coming up with actual new ideas. That can only be done by a human at this point. So while everyone's worried about whether AI is going to take over the world, which could happen at some point, I can't predict that. It seems like the more immediate threat is that right now, the writers, these artificially intelligent writing programs, work because they can go out on the internet. Most of the content on the internet is written by humans at this point, not by other artificially intelligent writing robots. But what about 5 years from now, when most of the stuff that has been written on the internet possibly will be something that was written by a robot, and the robot sourced the information for that essay or blog post from something that was written by another robot, and it was got that from a different robot. And if you trace it all the way back to the source document that was written by a human, or the source documents, it'll be like a high-speed game of telephone like we used to play in elementary school, where you'd put an idea in one kid's ear and they'd give it to another kid and they'd pass it through the class, and by the time it got to the end of that, it was something absurd and something totally distorted. So is that what we're going to run into? Because if it is, the internet will become even more unreliable than it is now, and people may be even more suspicious of everyone else than they are now, or more distrustful of information that's on the internet, because it's essentially garbage that's been traded between artificially intelligent or artificial stupidity, whatever it is, writing bots. So I guess I'd just like to hear some thoughts on that. Is there some kind of a circuit breaker that's going to stop this from happening? Because it seems like it could be a fairly immediate threat. I mean, obviously, robots can write things much, much more quickly than humans can. Not necessarily better, but more quickly. And so the internet could become populated by things that are just written by robots that have been written by other robots pretty soon. And what's that really going to mean? I mean, I think back to the days of the promise of the information superhighway in 1993. Bill Clinton was talking about that, and none of us ever stopped to think that that could be anything but positive. But yet we all know it kind of turned out where for every scientist that's made a great discovery based on stuff from the internet, there's also 10 people who believe absurd theories or things that aren't really factual. So anyway, I'd just like to hear some thoughts about that. What do you think could happen with these robots trading ideas from each other at high speed? Is that a real concern, or I just not understand the technology? Thank you.